Hey everyone, welcome back to BTM Scale Modeling for week 18 on the Discovery Shuttle and Launch Facility and week 8 on the Axanar starships. As you guys probably know, I didn't post a video last week, and the reason is on the 13th of August I found out my father had passed away. So I decided I needed to take a break from the studio and just come to terms and deal with that and help my family through it, my sisters and my kids. But I did get back to work this week. I was able to do work, but sometimes it really hit me because my father's the one that got me into building scale models way back when. He got me into doing this, and so I really thank him for that. But yes, the base is now pretty well done, except for painting and things, but the base is now done. There is really cool things to see with the payload, clean room, and the tower together. And then I got a lot of lighting done onto the USS Korolev, and I had the honor of introducing a new nav and strobe board by Tena Controls. So watch for that in the video, but also I'm going to be doing a separate video just for that because I belong to a lot of great scale modeling groups, and I try to make sure I don't, I'm not there to sell it. I'm there to show the love of modeling. So I keep certain things out of the video and that I am putting into this video just on their board. So please watch that. Tell me what you think. As always, thank you to my new subscribers. I really appreciate it. And if you are new to my channel, please click on the subscribe button. Click on the little bell and you'll know every time I upload. So with that, guys, thank you for your love, your warm wishes, and let's go see what I did get done this week. Welcome back, and as I said in the intro, yes, I lost my father on the 13th of August, and I decided to take some time. When I did try to do a little building on both the Axanar and the shuttle, but I got to a point because I had a lot of great memories on both with my dad, so I just said, nope, I'm going to go and take a little bit of a rest and visit with family. So before all that happened, I did get a base down, or styrene sheets down. 0.30 is what I used. I also pre-drilled, and these are going to be magnet spots for the tower. And then because the shuttle and this launch pad were just separate individuals completely from the tower. So I've been trying to figure out, because I put these gray stands on, or bigger stands, so it brings it up, but the problem is it doesn't meet well, so I had to drill, and now I have to see where I can best get use out of that for the tower. But that's there. So plan today is I need to get the primary base color on this, and I'll show you what I did use, guys. Got the idea from another builder I watch on YouTube, and used this multicolored texture. It's like almost like a really, really nice sand. I didn't have to put anything on it. I just used that, and I went with this tannish color because it will take the gray a lot better. But yes, so that's amazing. So the things we can use to create the right stuff. And then yes, I'll be working on getting decals finished, getting this done, and no, most definitely the Axanar starships. But let me get this painted and get a couple of decals down, and then probably today and tomorrow I'm going to just cut them out between both just to get back on track. So alright guys, well, let me get some paint laid down and I'll see you when I get it done. Alright guys, here we are back to the Axanar starships, and I'm working on the Korolev. So I've gotten pretty much all the lighting placed in except for doing the one in here. And I got my friends at Tena Controls also let me know about this brand new awesome little board, and I will show you this board here soon, I promise. But first, I need to start getting things grouped. And what I mean by grouped is get the nav lights into one joined together. Same with the stay on nav light, the white, and then start getting everything put together. Because on this ship, unlike the Ares, I have to build it in the sections and then paint it before I can fully put it together, and I'll demonstrate that as I go along. But first, I need to start getting some things grouped, and then get the impulse engine lights in and start seeing if I can start getting things put together. But like I said, I will talk about this here real soon. So let me start getting things grouped and show you what that's going to look like if I've forgotten, right? But let me get things grouped and I'll show you what that looks like, and then start getting some things put together. Good morning, everyone. It's Friday and I am back to work at the bench. First, I want to apologize for having a scattered week. I would start on something and then, I remember something with my dad and I get sad and I just have to walk away for a little bit. So I do apologize for that, and I wanted to show you, because I did talk about that there is a new board by our friends at Tena Control, and they asked me to share it with you guys. So first things first, I will discuss a little bit on here, but I will make another video just for the board. Because I belong to a lot of great modeling groups, and I try to make sure I'm always following the rules. So I can talk about where it came from, but I will not talk about the price, but on the other video. But first, I wish I would have had this board when I got started on the Ares, because you guys, I know I bought the Tena Controls Discovery Enterprise set, because it gave a lot of the it had almost all the effects that I wanted, but the one thing it didn't have was that strobe right there. I love that. But this board has navigation and strobe and a double strobe light, and I will show that to you. But right now, look at that. This is just pretty, right? Yay! Let me get things sit around and I'll show you the board, and then I'll start talking about what I did. So give me just a couple of minutes. Alright guys, well, here is the new board by our friends at Tena Controls. Look at that. Very, very nice, very quaint, very, very easy to use. So this board that they have designed has the navigation and strobe with multiple settings for Star Trek Enterprise or any other ship, or even I would use this to do navs and strobes and all that on planes. This is a very great board, especially if you're just getting into and experimenting with lighting and wanting to do that. So this board can do the TOS 50th anniversary, the refit and reliant timing, the D&E timing, and the double strobe like the JJ Enterprise, all in this board. And here's the other great thing. Each output, there's only two. There's yellow for strobe and then the green for nav. Sorry, let me get that on camera. So you see these two? But here's the great thing. Each output, let's say you wanted to do a lot of navs, each output you can do up to 200 pre-resistored LEDs. And that's for each one. So that's a lot. And then like always with their instructions, they do really great with giving you everything in the wiring diagram, and yeah, it's great. So the one effect that, as you guys know, I bought the JJ Enterprise for control board because it gave a lot of the effects that I wanted, but the one effect it didn't really do was the strobe, and I understand, and I missed that on the Ares, but then Tena Controls came up with this, I'm like, yay! So this is going to be great. That's what created that nav and strobe effect. Now, the thing is, so yeah, really great board. So it's small, so even on the bigger kits, so like say you're just starting to get into lighting, you're wanting to do more lighting or experiment with it, but for the bigger kits like the 1537, the Reliant and the Enterprises and on up, and you can fit this in the ship, but if you don't, because like what I'm doing here with the Axanar starships, they're big, they're decent, but I have to run everything else. So that's going to be great, and there's definitely some things to do with that. But as I said before, guys, I will do just a straight up video on the merits of the board and talk about price in that, because like I said, I belong to a lot of great scale modeling groups, and I just want to make sure I'm following the rules. So so here's a new board by Tena, and watch for the next video. So with that, with this board, you're gonna have to resistor a lot of things, and when you're doing something this small, it kind of becomes a pain, because I had to run I have just one to control this stay on light and these guys, and then I had to run another power to do both the strobes. And with the SMDs, I found great luck. I can run one resistor for the 2 strobes, so that is now in here, and then I will run resistors. My plan is probably I'm going to try to put as many in here as I can, because I really don't want those to be in the board. So I'm going to experiment with that. But yeah, fun, right? So as I promised, I will go through and show you how I did this. And you can fast forward after I get started if you've seen me do this 1,000 times. If not, please watch, and I hope it helps. So let me get things reorganized, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, well here comes the fun part that I showed you. So as you guys know, I did this to help get that effect for the nacelles, because the board I wanted to use, it was just too big. It was just way too big. So I put in SMDs, and yeah. So now I got to start getting things grouped, and I have 5 LEDs, and there's 3 connections. There's the, one second here. There's gray, white, and let me make sure here, and purple. But instead I went blue. I don't know why, but I went blue. So easy enough. But and for the white I went brown. So I will come back to that and share with you guys. But first thing you need to do is get these things grouped. And because of what I talked about before, I'm going to run a resistor for the strobes in here, and I'm going to tie this red one off, and that way I can, because the big thing is, like I said, I tried to have it, I had a resistor trying to control the 3, and I didn't know if it would work or not, and it did. That's okay. So having to play around with it a little bit, but let me get things cleared up here a little bit, and I will share how I did this. Okay, so I did one part already. So I talked to you guys about having to put the resistors on, especially the strobe, but I'm going to have to open the other nacelle back up and put a resistor on just this, because what I did was, I was like, oh, well, I can just red to red, power, but then I forgot that I had to get a resistor on this one, because even once I put a resistor on the main red power wire out, it could power up this, but then it wouldn't touch this, so I needed to put another resistor in. So that's what I did, and let's get this lovely lady shrink wrapped, if I can find, I have a lot of shrink wrap, or, darn it, I thought I had a smaller one, but that's okay, I'll find it. But the one thing I'm going to do is I want to make sure this is completely secure, so I don't want anything to have a chance to get on it. Not by getting on, but what I mean by, okay, did I not seal a wire up good enough, and then it cancels out, it shorts out. So yeah. So just like that. Now I can hot glue it in. Because when I do the strobes, I'm going to put the resistor for that up here. It's always just shake and bake puzzle time, you know. You know us. We just figure out what we can. So, yeah. Get this shrunk down well. And yes, I've already tested it, so that's the other thing, guys. Always, always, before you think it's all done, test it one more time. Okay? So, this one, I am, because these guys are going to go out the other side, and I can actually put him more right there so I have a little bit more room to work with. So, I'm going to start. Sorry, I can't seem to keep my big fingers out of the way so you guys can see. So, just a little bit here. If it's warmed up enough, it comes out, but you never know. And, oh, see, told you. And try this again. Let me zoom out so you guys might actually see what I'm doing. Okay. And then just gotta put a little bit here. And then yes, I'm gonna have to run a 38 WG wire from the negative. Because like I said, these are all the SMDs, the small wee tiny wires, and yeah. They're okay to work with, but they're not the easiest sometimes. So there, that is now secure. And when I put these other two, these two, and do the resistor up here, I can run, because the negative is what helps give that effect, that strobe effect. So I can run all the power to one. Even with those, I can, because now I have resistor, I can run all my power and just go to the one wire, which is very cool. So let me get things reset, and I will just come back and I will share with you guys. Okay, guys, before I go back to that, I need to get this done. So I fought with trying to figure out SMDs, because the ones I order are pre-resistored, but like I said, guys, that's some. Let's see if I can get that in there for you. Maybe. Camera. There we go. Let's see if I can get the focus. These are some very, very small wires, and just the normal traditional way of trying to get them clean so you can solder. I sanded. I tried knife. I mean, I tried everything. And then I got a tip from a very good friend. Why don't you do this, Buck? So I just take your lighter, and just like that. And burn that insulation off, which was a very, very cool thing. And let's see if I can get it focused enough for you. Maybe. Right there. So that wire now is ready to come around and get soldered. So I wanted to share that with you, and let me get the positive all hooked up, and when I come back I will show you my thought process behind the negatives. So I shall return, my friends. Alright, I'm going to get started here on the black real quick, the negatives, but got it all wrapped up, together, and then I soldered, so now it's nice and strong, because the other wires are a little bit flexible, or yeah, that. So again, I've taped up, and the biggest thing with any kind of wiring, always make sure you have enough slack. And what I mean by that is I could just do this thing all the way down here, but then I wouldn't have the room to work. So I always leave enough, and just to make sure. Now I can get rid of those little guys. Again, it's going to be the same step, and sometimes I'll just move that down a bit so I know what I'm working with. And I'm so sorry, it's so wee, guys. And then kind of what I did is, because I have 5 with 3 points, I've put 2 on each, And so I kind of look, okay, well, so we'll go with this guy, and I will go with this guy. Tweezers here, and I pull out the tape so I'm not always trying to fight around the looser ones. So now I can just hold that out of the way. In the same process, again, guys, is what I will do is I will use my handy lighter, and again I will just do that so I can get to the metal. And it's, like I said, it's a lot easier this way. And sometimes even when trying to twist these guys together, they can kind of get squirrely. They don't want to play very nice. So, there. Get you twisted up. And again, even though I'm going to put another wire to it, I want to make sure, because I've done it where I thought, oh, that's good connection, and then nothing's happening because they came loose. I didn't solder just these two guys. And when you do solder, always make sure to tin it first. Get some solder on there, and like so. And then sometimes even working with this, even though this is not magnetic wire, it can get a little bit crazy to take because there might still be some insulation and that. So it has to burn through that. So the first one I am going to do is blue. And again, all I'm going to do is make sure they're pretty well met up. You know, the bottoms and the bottom match. Now the top I'll always trim. But then again, 10 and just like so. Get tinned and there. So now I can trim, because I know it's secure, I can trim it down, get rid of that, you know, overbung. And honestly, with everything, especially in these narrow compartment areas, like these nacelles and stuff, I will always take and put shrink wrap over that spot that I just did, that I just soldered, just to protect it, one, and make sure it doesn't get, you know, it doesn't touch on something and short out. So there's that one. Oh, sorry, gotta keep in camera here. Sorry. So there is now that one, all ready to go. And I'm sorry, guys, it's a little small, but so I'm gonna keep doing these. I'll get the others fixed up, and then when I come back, we'll start getting stuff together. Alright guys, I've got everything run through and put together. I haven't glued anything down yet, but I've chased all the wires, or not chased, but put them through, and then that is basically the inside of the nacelle. Now, do be careful, you know, try to, when you start putting stuff down, I definitely will tell you need to use hot glue, one. But two, when you go to put it together, you're going to have to really look at the size, make sure none of the wires are coming out. And also that it might, you know, have a little bit of a gap, but that's okay because that can be fixed, not much. And then don't worry too much about these on the end yet, because I'll fix those when it comes time. But always have, especially with the nacelles, the easiest way to do this is I have a couple small clamps and then I use a crap out of the tape. So let me get it put together and I'll show you what it looks like as it's getting ready, as it goes to start drying. Okay, well, now taped out. Like I said, don't worry about you. you're going to have a little bit of a gap sometimes, and it's probably just because of everything I got in there. But I can fix this real easy with putty. So, going to let this get dry and move on to something else. Alright guys, going to take a break on starships and go, see if I can keep it focused. There we go. Sorry, camera's in hand. This thing is huge. So I thought, yeah, even though the shuttle and this part, the base here of the launch pad, is the same scale as the tower, you're definitely going to have to double check things. What I mean is, I took these guys off. Sorry, let me zoom out here. There we go. I took these guys off, and I had to drop it to here, and I'm still, this is still just a bit too low. So it is what it is. Also, I'm getting ready to go onto this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a magnet on the top of this and in here, and then I'm going to put one in this down to this point, so it can be, so I can always, especially shipping it, I can take it up and take it apart. Now I guess I got a little hasty. I thought I cut it right, and I guess I cut it too much, so I got to fix that. But yeah, and get some more decals on. See if we can't finish up Friday getting a little more Discovery finished. Hey guys, more on the shuttle is done for decals. Yay. And started getting the nacelles together and getting all the wiring trained and getting in. Introduced that from Tena Controls, the new nav and strobe board, which is very cool. But hey, check this out. Dang. Oh, gotta have this on there. Sorry guys, forgive the mess, please. But let me get you on. Maybe. Gosh dang. It's not that hard. There we go. Okay, there we go. Let's see if I can. Look at that. Okay, there we go. So, got a lot of this done. Found out that definitely going to have to do some different things once the shuttle goes on to make sure everything fits well. But the magnets work out really good, and I'm going to paint that magnet a same color as the rest. But hey, check that out. That is nice. So with that, guys, Core Lab will be together next week. Getting ever closer on the shuttle. And so with that, thank you for sticking with me. I know it was a weird kind of week with filming, but thank you. And I hope you guys have a safe and happy weekend. Have a safe and happy week next week, and I'll see you guys back here on the bench.